They claimed no species could survive the void, until humans walked out. Alive Captain Zethkar's tentacles writhed in disbelief as he stared at the display screens aboard his research vessel. The readings had to be wrong. Nothing, absolutely nothing, could survive exposure to the void of Kethmaran and return intact. For 3,000 cycles, the Galactic Council had sent their best scientists, their most advanced technology, and their bravest explorers into that cursed region of space. The void stretched across 17 light years, a pocket of reality where the very laws of physics seemed to break down. Ships that entered never returned. Probes went silent within minutes. Even quantum-entangled communication arrays failed the moment they crossed the threshold. The Arkelian Empire's greatest minds theorized it was a tear in space-time itself. The crystalline Vethrani believed it housed malevolent entities that consumed matter and energy. The gaseous Nephilim spoke of it in whispers, calling it the hunger between stars. Every species agreed on one immutable fact. The void was death incarnate, which made the current situation utterly impossible. "Sensors confirm it, Captain," chirped his navigation officer, a small insectoid Crix, whose compound eyes reflected the ambient light in nervous patterns. "The human vessel Persistence has been inside the void for 47 standard hours and it's moving toward the exit vector." Zethkar's primary brain processed this information, while his secondary brain rejected it entirely. Humans were barely a century into space travel. They were primitives who still used chemical propulsion and crude fusion reactors. Their ships were held together with what they called duct tape and sheer stubbornness. If the advanced civilizations of the galaxy couldn't survive the void, how could these newcomers possibly succeed? "Are we certain it's the same vessel?" Zethkar asked, though he already knew the answer. "Quantum signature is identical, Captain. It's definitely the Persistence. The human ship had entered the void 3 days ago despite explicit warnings from the Council." Captain Sarah Chen had simply smiled that peculiar human expression and said, "We appreciate the concern, but we've got a delivery to make on the other side." A delivery. As if the void were merely an inconvenient detour rather than a cosmic death trap. The communication array crackled to life, causing every crew member on the bridge to freeze. Signals from within the void were impossible. Had been impossible. For millennia. "This is Captain Chen of the Persistence to any vessels in the area. We're about to exit the anomalous region and could use a navigation update. Our chronometers are showing some interesting readings." Zethkar's translator struggled with the human's casual tone. There was no fear, no desperation, no indication that she had just accomplished the impossible. "Human vessel," Zethkar transmitted, back, his voice tight with disbelief. "This is Captain Zethkar of the Arkelian research ship Profound Inquiry. Please confirm your status. Are you intact?" A sound emerged from the comm, something the humans called laughter. "Well, we're down to our last bag of coffee and Jenkins broke the espresso machine on day 2, so morale's taken a hit. But otherwise, we're 5 by 5. The bridge fell silent. Zethkar's tentacles twitched as he processed what he was hearing. Not only had the humans survived the void, they were making jokes about minor inconveniences. "Captain Chen," Zethkar said slowly, "do you understand what you have accomplished? No species in recorded history has survived passage through the void. How is this possible?" Another pause. Then Chen's voice returned, tinged with what his translator identified as confusion. "I'm sorry, Void. We've been calling it the Murphy Zone after our physicist who first mapped it. It's definitely weird in here. Time dilates pretty heavily and our instruments go haywire, but Void seems a bit dramatic." "Instruments, and they go haywire," Zethkar repeated. "Oh yeah, it's a real electromagnetic soup in here. Our computers crashed about 6 hours in, so we've been navigating by dead reckoning and stellar positioning. Thank God humans still teach celestial navigation at the academy. Old school methods for the win." Zethkar felt something that might have been vertigo. "Your computers failed?" "Completely fried. But the good news is, we had paper maps as backup. Never trust technology completely, my grandfather always said. Plus, we've been playing a lot of cards to pass the time. Ramirez owes everyone at least 3 months' pay by now. The research ship's sensors detected the human vessel emerging from the void's boundary. The persistence appeared exactly as it had when it entered. No exotic radiation, no temporal distortions, no sign that it had just traversed the galaxy's most feared region of space. "Captain Chen," Zethkar said, his voice barely above a whisper. "How did you navigate through space, where our most advanced systems fail?" "Same way humans have been getting around for thousands of years," came the cheerful reply. "We looked up at the stars and figured out where we were going. When your fancy equipment breaks down, you fall back on the basics. Works every time." As the Persistence set course for its destination, Zethkar realized something profound had just occurred. For 3 millennia, the galaxy's species had approached the void with their most sophisticated technology, their most complex theories, their most advanced understanding of physics. The humans had entered with paper maps, playing cards, and an apparently unshakable confidence in simple, proven methods. "Captain," his communications officer said quietly, "the Council is requesting a full report." Zethkar stared at the diminishing form of the human ship on his displays. How would he explain this to the Council? How would he tell them that the EUI, galaxy's greatest mystery, had been solved not by advanced science, but by a species that still believed in backup plans and looking up at the stars? "Tell the Council," he said finally, "that perhaps we've been overthinking things." In the distance, the Persistence continued on its way, its crew probably still playing cards and complaining about broken coffee machines, completely unaware that they had just rewritten the fundamental assumptions of galactic civilization. Sometimes, Zethkar thought, the most extraordinary thing about humans wasn't their technology or their theories. It was their absolute refusal to accept that anything was truly impossible.